We are live. Uh, we are live. We are live. We are live and alive. Alive and alive. We are living. Thank goodness gracious. We got to make sure the live stream is functional. It is indeed functional. Live and it is indeed functional. Oh, hello, Annie. Hello, Annie. Thank you for joining me here today for some Lord of the Rings. I have been trying to have my vocals be warmed up before I turned on the stream. I feel like I want to lean into the deepness, into the deepness so I can really nail the inflections, Because sometimes it just like my natural register. I said this in my last video. I don't think is necessarily like as low as it comes out sometimes, and it creeps up. And I'm trying to be like, no, we have a. Hello, Peach. How are you? Hello. We're reading Lord of the Rings. I hope you all are ready for some Lord of the Rings. Better get started so that anyone who clicks on this video doesn't have to sit through too much intro preamble. Let us begin. Chapter 7. The Mirror of Galadriel. Oh my god. Nice video drop about the scent. Yeah. You got that part? Yeah. Isn't it cool? Oh my god. Keen. Okay, yeah. That is not how I would have guessed to pronounce that. That's for sure. Keen. Okay. Peachy Keen? You're Peachy Keen? Is that the name? Is that the phrase that I'm thinking of? I'm Peachy Keen. Yeah, I think I literally said that like a couple days ago to myself, and I was like, what am I, 80? No. Okay, let's start. The sun, not phonetically friendly, no. Okay. The sun was sinking behind the mountains, and the shadows were deepening in the woods when they went on again. Their paths now went into thick. Ooh. Yes, Peachy Keen. I like that. Oh, I got people talking out my window. Okay. All right, where were we? Their paths now went into thickets where the dusk had already gathered. Night came beneath the trees as they walked, and the elves uncovered their silver lamps. Suddenly, they came out into the open again and found themselves under a pale evening sky, pricked by a few early stars. There was a wide treeless space before them, running in a great circle and bending away on either hand. Beyond it was a deep fosse. Fosse? Okay, Fosse. Okay, we're looking up a word. Fosse. No, we don't care about term. We don't care about Bob Fosse. A ditch or a moat? A ditch or a moat? Okay. A fosse is a ditch or a moat. I'm Peachy Keen. How are you? That is so good. No, you can comment. Okay? I like the interaction. It's my job. It's my job to be able to stay focused and read, and also read comments. And that's what I honestly, that's what I want to get good at, because it's more fun live when people can interact. So don't feel bad about interrupting. Okay. All right. Beyond it was a deep fosse, lost in soft shadow. But the grass upon its brink was green, as if it glowed still in memory of the sun that had gone. Upon the further side there rose, to a great height, a green wall encircling a green hill, thronged with malern trees, taller than any they had seen in all the land. Their height could not be guessed, but they stood up in the twilight like living towers, and their many-tiered branches, and amid their ever-moving leaves, countless lights were gleaming, green, gold, and silver. Haldir turned towards the company. Okay, how do we do Haldir again? Fuck. Haldir was, "Welcome to Karas Galadhorn. Welcome to Karas. What have I been saying this whole time? That's one problem that with only reading once a week is that I forget what I was saying the last week for some of these things. Welcome to Karas Galad. Welcome to Karas Galadhorn," he said. "Here is the city of Galadrim, where dwell Here is the city of the Galadrim, where dwell the Lord Celeborn and Galadriel. Why am I rolling my tongue? And Galadriel. Sometimes it's so hard to focus. See, this is my problem. Okay. This is the ADHD. Okay. Here is the city of the Galadrim, where dwell the Lord Celeborn and Lady Galadriel. The lady here, Lord Celeborn. Why is Galadriel so hard for me to say in this accent? I don't know why. And Galadriel, the lady of Lorien. But we cannot enter here, for the gates do not look northward. We must go round to the southern side, and the way is not short, for the city is great. Okay, we made it through the fucking sentence. I'm a professional. Okay? There was a road paved with white stone running on the outer brink of the foss. Along this they went westward, with the city ever climbing up like a green cloud upon their left. And as the night deepened, more lights sprang forth, until all the hills seemed afire with stars. They came at last to a white bridge, and crossing found the great gates of the city. They faced southwest, set between the ends of the encircling wall that here overlapped, and they were tall and strong, and hung with many lamps. Much profession. Yeah, exactly. You got it. Haldir knocked and spoke, and the gates opened soundlessly. But of guards Frodo could see no sign. The travelers passed within, and the gates shut behind them. They were in a deep lane between the ends of the wall, and passing quickly through it, they entered the city of the trees. No folk they could see, nor hear any feet upon the paths. But there were many voices about them, and in the air above. Far away up on the hill, they could hear the sound of singing falling from on high, like soft rain upon leaves. They went along many paths and climbed many stairs, until they came to the high places, and saw before them, amid a wide lawn, a fountain shimmering. It was lit by silver lamps that swung from the boughs of trees, and it fell into a basin of silver from which a white steam spilled. From which a white stream spilled. Upon the south side of the lawn there stood the mightiest of all the trees. Its great smooth bole gleamed like gray silk, and up it towered until its first branches, far above, opened their huge limbs under shadowy clouds of leaves. Beside it a broad white ladder stood, and at its foot 3 elves were seated. They sprang up as the travelers approached, and Frodo saw that they were tall and clad in gray mail, and from their shoulders hung long white cloaks. Yeah. You've been curious about this book version, yeah. For the real lore. Yeah, it seems like this part has definitely got more going to it than it did in the movie. That's for sure. Here dwell Celeborn and Galadriel, said Haldir. It is their wish that you should ascend and speak with them. One of the elf wardens that blew a clear note on a small horn. One of the elf wardens then blew a clear note on a small horn, and it was answered 3 times from far above. "I will go first," said Haldir. "Let Frodo come next, and with him Legolas. The others may follow as they wish. It is a long climb for those that are not accustomed to such stairs, but you may rest upon the way." May rest upon the way. As he climbed slowly, Frodo passed many flets, some on one side, some on another, and some set about the bole of the tree, so that the latter passed through them. At a great height above the ground, he came to a wide talon, like the deck of a great ship. It was built a house so large that almost it would have served for what the fuck is that sentence? Okay. So large that it almost would have served for a hall of men upon the earth. He entered behind Haldir, and found that he was in a chamber of oval shape, in the midst of which grew the trunk of the great malern, now tapering towards its crown, and yet making still a pillar of wide girth. It's raining, which is nice, but you can hear the wheels of every car that drives by. Now, you guys probably can't hear it. It's probably fine. But I can hear it. And I'm like, can you hear it? And I'm like, I don't want to shut the window because for the first stream in a while, it's like not hot. I'm not too hot, which is really nice. Okay. The chamber was filled with a soft light. Its walls were green and silver, and its roof of gold. Many elves were seated there, on 2 chairs beneath the bole of the tree, and canopied by a living bow. There sat, side by side, Celeborn and Galadriel. They stood up to greet their guests, after the manner of elves, even those who were accounted mighty king. What the flying? Okay. Even those who were accounted mighty kings. Very tall they were, and the lady no less tall than the lord. And they were grave and beautiful. They were clad wholly in white, and the hair of the lady was of deep gold, and the hair of Lord Celeborn was of silver, long and bright. But no sign of age was upon them, unless it were the depths of their eyes, for these were keen as lances in the starlight, and yet profound, the wells of deep memory. Wow, wells of deep memory, as descriptive as ever. Can't hear the wheels? That's a good sign. Haldir led Frodo before them, and the Lord welcomed him in his own tongue. Oh, there's a glitch of some kind on the stream. Let's go make sure I'm still going, because this has ended mid-stream before, which is not ideal. It looks like we're still good. Okay. Just gotta make sure. Gotta make sure I'm not fucking losing my mind here. The Lord welcomed him in his own tongue. The lady, Galadriel, said no word, but looked upon his face. "Sit now beside my chair, Frodo of the Shire." I made a bold choice. He's got a deep voice, apparently. "When all have come together, we will speak together." Each of the companions he greeted courteously by name as they entered. "Welcome, Aragorn, son of Arathorn," he said. "It is 38 years of the world outside since you came to this land, and those years lie heavy on you. But the end is near, for good or ill. Here, lay aside your burden for a while. Welcome, son of Thranduil." Thranduil, okay. "Welcome, son of Thranduil. Too seldom do my kindred journey hither from the north. Welcome, son of... Welcome, Gimli, son of Glowing. It It is long indeed since we saw one of Durin's folk in Caras Galadon. But today we have broken our long law. May it be a sign that though the world is now dark, better days are at hand, and that friendship shall be renewed between our peoples." Gimli bowed low. He's got a deep voice, I guess. I don't know how I feel about that voice. "Hello, I am an elf, but I have not a light voice." They can't all have light voices, okay? Okay. When all the guests were seated before his chair, the Lord looked at them again. "Here there are 8, he said. 9 were set out, so said the messages. But maybe there has been some change of counsel that we have not heard. Elrond is far away, and darkness gathers between us. And all this year the shadows have grown longer." Good evening, Relis. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Lord of the Rings reading. This is Celeborn, who is the elf lord of this place. In Caras Galadon. Okay. Galadon. I think I've been saying this shit wrong the whole time. "Nay, there was no change of counsel," said the Lady Galadriel. I am not going to do good woman voices, okay? We don't even have to worry about it. Speaking for the first time, her voice was clear and musical, but deeper than Well, it's deeper than normal. What is this sentence? But deeper than woman's won't. What the fuck is that sentence? But deeper than woman's won't. Whatever, okay. Gandalf the Grey. Ooh, what did I do? Hey, there was no change of counsel. Gandalf the Grey set out with the company, but he did not pass the borders of this land. Now tell us where he is, for I much desire to speak with him again. I cannot see him from afar, unless he comes within the fences of Lothlorien. A grey mist is about him, and the ways of his feet and of his mind are hidden from me." "Alas," said Aragorn, "Gandalf the Grey fell into shadow. He remained in Moria and did not escape." At these words, all the elves in the hall cried aloud in grief and amazement. These are evil tidings. Oh, fuck, I lost it. Aragorn was too similar, and I lost it. "I'm Aragorn, yes. Alas, Aragorn, yes, I am Aragorn, of course. Gandalf the Grey fell in shadow. He remained in Moria and did not escape." "Oh, yes, I'm Aragorn." That's what he sounds like now, apparently. Okay. These are evil tidings, said Celeborn. "The most evil that have been spoken here in long years, full of grievous deeds." He turned to Haldir. "Why has nothing of this been told to me before?" he asked in the elven tongue. "We have not spoken to Haldir of our deeds or our purpose," said Legolas. "At first we were wary, and danger was too close behind, and afterwards we almost forgot our grief for a time, as we walked in the gladness on the fair paths of Lorien." "Yet our grief is great, and our loss cannot be mended," said Frodo. "Gandalf was our guide, and he led us through Moria, and when our escape seemed beyond hope, he saved us, and he fell." Tell us now the full tale," said Celeborn. Lady voices, I can't do. There's not this is in the 50s, so there aren't too many lady characters, evidently. So there's what have we had so far? Lady Goldberry and Galadriel and Aragorn's girlfriend. Okay, whatever. All right. There might be more than that. I don't know. Okay. Tell us now the full tale. Then Aragorn recounted all that had happened upon the pass of Caradhras, and in the days that followed. And he spoke of Balin and his book, and the fight in the chamber of Marzabul, and the fire on the narrow bridge, and the coming of the terror. An evil of the ancient world, it seemed, such that I have never seen before, said Aragorn. It was both a shadow and a flame, strong and terrible. It was the Balrog of Morgoth, said Legolas, and of all elf-banes, the most deadly, save the one who sits in the dark tower. Arwen. Yeah, at least Sam and Frodo. At least there was, at least he's not homophobic. Maybe a little sexist, but not homophobic. Well, he might be. Maybe he's closeted. No. Okay. No, I don't know anything about Tolkien. Okay, we can't make too many judgments other than on his writing, apparently. Okay. Who was I talking to? I think I was talking to Thomas, Annie, and he said that Tolkien would probably appreciate all my judgments of him. Apparently, maybe that's it. Or was it Mom that said that? Mom might have said that. It was either Thomas or Mom. I was talking to both of them at the same time. Thomas is my brother. This is Will lore. I have a brother and a sister and a mom, and a dad, of course. Whatever, we're done. No, we don't need to break down the lore of Will's family. Okay, this is, we don't need to expose my whole family to the whims of the internet. Okay. Where am I at? Okay, yeah. Legolas just spoke. Indeed, I saw upon the bridge that which haunts our darkest dreams. I saw Durin's pain, said Gimli. Oh, in a low voice. Fucking loud. Okay. Indeed, I saw upon the bridge that which haunts our darkest dreams. I saw Durin's bane, said Gimli in a low voice, and dread was in his eyes. I didn't do the dread good enough. Let's do it again. Indeed, I saw upon the bridge that which haunts our darkest dreams. I saw Durin's pain. I saw Durin's bane, said Gimli in a low voice, and dread was in his eyes. Alas, said Celeborn, we have long feared that under Caradhras a terror slept. But I had known that the dwarves had stirred up this evil in Moria again, and I would have forbidden you to pass the northern borders, and all that went with you, and if possible, one would say that at the last Gandalf fell from wisdom into folly, going needlessly into the net of Moria. Ah, alas, I wish I could rewind the recording just for myself, just to see the voice that I did, so I can redo it better. That would be useful. That would be useful. Is there a way? There's got to be a way to do that. Probably, surely, right? I could do that on the stream, can't I? But I don't know. I don't want to. I could maybe do it, but it would take time, so I'm not going to do it. Tolkien, I think he would. There are a lot of valid references. Yeah. He would appreciate it. He would appreciate it, surely. Okay. He would be rash indeed. That said that thing. What? He would be rash indeed. That said that thing. That said that thing. That said that thing. He would be rash indeed. That said that thing. I don't know what that sentence means. Said Galadriel gravely. Needless were none of the deeds of Gandalf in life. Those that followed him knew not his mind, and cannot report his full purpose. But, however, it may be with the guide, the followers are blameless. Do not repent of your welcome to the dwarf. If our folk had been exiled long and far from Lothlorien, who of the Galadrim,
even Celeborn the wise, would pass nigh, and would not wish to look upon their ancient home, though it had become an abode of dragons. Dark is the water of Kelidzarum, and cold are the springs of Kibilnala, and fair were the many pillared halls of Khazad-dûm in elder days before the fall of mighty kings beneath the stone.
She looked upon Gimli, who sat glowering and sad, and she smiled. And the dwarf, hearing the names given in his own ancient tongue, looked up and met her eyes. It seemed to him that he looked suddenly into the heart of an enemy and saw there love and understanding. Wonder came into his face, and then he smiled in answer. He rose clumsily and bowed in dwarf fashion, saying, "Yet more fair is the living land of Yet more fair is the living land of Lorien, and the Lady Galadriel is above all the jewels that lie beneath the earth." Wow. That was in the movie that said that thing. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that sentence means. That said that thing. Time has passed, words have new meaning, and I don't know. Okay. There was a silence. At length, Celeborn spoke again. "I did not know that your plight was so evil," he said. "Let Gimli forget my harsh words. I spoke in the trouble of my heart. I will do what I can to aid you, each according to his wish and need, but especially that one of the little folk who bears the burden."
"Your quest is known to us," said Galadriel, looking at Frodo, but we will not here speak of it more openly. Yet not in vain will it prove, maybe, that you came to this land seeking aid, as Gandalf himself plainly purposed. For the Lord of the Galadrim is accounted the wisest of the elves of Middle-earth, and a giver of gifts beyond the power of kings. He has dwelt in the West since the days of dawn, and I have dwelt with him years uncounted, for ere the fall of Nargothrond, or Gondolin, I passed over the mountains, and together, through ages of the world, we have fought the long defeat. I it was who first summoned the White Council, and if my designs had not gone amiss, it would have been governed by Gandalf the Grey, and then mayhap things would have gone otherwise. But even now there is hope left. I will not give you counsel, saying do this or do that, for not in doing or in contriving, nor in choosing between this course or another, can I avail, but only in knowing what was and is, and in part also what shall be. But this I will say to you, your quest stands upon the edge of a knife. Stray but a little, and it will fail, to the ruin of all. Yet hope remains, while all the company is true.
And without word she held them with her eyes, and in silence looked searchingly at each of them in turn. None, save Legolas and Aragorn, could long endure her gaze. Sam quickly blushed and hung his head. At length the Lady Galadriel released them from her eyes, and smiled. "Do not let your hearts be troubled," she said. "Tonight you shall sleep in peace." Then they sighed and felt suddenly weary, as those who had been questioned long and deeply, though no words had been spoken openly. Okay, wait, I read that sentence completely fucking wrong. Start over. They sighed and felt suddenly weary, as those who had been questioned long and deeply,
though no words had been spoken openly. "Go now." "Ah, yes, go now," said Celeborn. "You are worn with sorrow and much toil. Even your quest did not concern us closely. Even if your quest did not concern us closely, you should have refuge in this city until you are healed and refreshed. Now you shall rest, and we will not speak of your further road for a while." That night the company slept upon the ground, much to the satisfaction of the hobbits. The elves spread for them a pavilion among the trees near the fountain, and in it they laid soft couches. Then, speaking words of peace with fair elvish voices, they left them. For a little while the travelers talked of their night before in the treetops, and their day's journey, and of the lord and lady, for they had not yet the heart to look further back. "What did you blush for, Sam? What did you blush for, Sam?" said Pippin. "Your son broke down. Anyone would have thought you had a guilty conscience. I hope it was nothing worse than a wicked plot to steal one of my blankets." "I never thought no such thing," answered Sam, in no mood for jest. "If you want to know, I felt as if I hadn't got nothing going on. And I didn't like it. She seemed to be looking inside me and asking me what I would do if she gave me the chance of flying back home to the Shire, to a nice little hole, with a bit of garden of my own." "That's funny," said Mary. "Almost exactly what I felt myself. Only, well, I don't think I'll say any more," he ended lamely. Yeah, lamely. What the heck? All of them, it seemed, had feared alike. Each had felt that he was offered a choice between a shadow full of fear that lay ahead and something that he greatly desired. Clear before his mind it lay, and to get it, he only had to turn aside from the road and leave the quest and the war against Sauron to the others. I barely digested that fucking whole paragraph. Reading's hard. Reading's hard. My mood has been conflicted today for whatever dumb reason, and reading is hard. You know. Sometimes when my mood is less than positive, it is hard to stay focused. You know. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? All of them, it seemed, had fared alike. Each felt he was offered a choice between a shadow full of fear that they had and something they greatly desired. Clear before mind. Leave the quest. Yeah. 10 out of 10. Get it? Yeah. Right? "And it seemed to me, too," said Gimli, "that my choice would remain secret and known only to myself." "To me it seemed exceedingly strange," said Boromir. "Maybe, Boromir, yes, of course. Maybe it was only a test, and she thought to read our thoughts for her own good purpose. But almost I should have said that she was tempting us, and offering what she pretended to have the power to give. It need not be said that I refused to listen. The men of Minas Tirith are true to their word." But what he thought that the lady had offered him, Boromir could not tell. Yeah, Tolkien is not the easiest to read. That is true. Githorn. How do you say that? How am I saying that right? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Githorn? I feel like I should know how to say your name. Or whatever. I guess these are ats, which is like on YouTube. There's like a name and then there's an at, and it's all confusing. Okay, where was I? As for Frodo, he would not speak, though Boromir pressed him with questions. She held you long in her gaze, ring-bearer, he said. Yes, said Frodo, but whatever came into my mind, then I will keep there. Well, have a care, said Boromir. I do not feel too sure of this elvish lady and her purposes.
Boromir is a hater, bro. Boromir's a hater, dude. Come on, bro. Come on. Gamertag. Genesis Harbinger Thorn. Oh, that is a proper gamertag for a true hardcore gamer right there, for sure. Better than mine. What was mine? It changed a lot. I don't... Oh, yeah, Aragorn's on page. Okay, here we go.
Have a care. I do not feel sure of this elvish lady and her purposes. Speak no evil of the Lady Galadriel. Speak no evil of the Lady Galadriel, said Aragorn sternly. You know not what you say.
No, I can't. I don't know. Why the fuck can't I still get Aragorn right? I can't feel. I keep trying to do Aragorn, and I'm like, I don't know where I want him to be.
Speak no evil. Speak no evil of the Lady Galadriel. Speak no evil of the Lady Galadriel, said Aragorn sternly. You know not what you say. There is in her, and in this land, no evil, unless a man bring it hither himself. Then let him beware. But tonight I shall sleep without fear for the first time since I left Rivendell, and I may sleep deep, and forget for a while my grief. I am weary in body and heart. He cast himself down upon his couch and fell at once into a long sleep.
Dude, Aragorn ain't happy with Boromir. Don't be hating on his elf girlfriend's people, okay? All right? Aragorn likes them elves, you know?
The others soon did the same. No sound or dream disturbed their slumber. When they woke, they found the light of day was brought upon the lawn before the pavilion, and the fountain rose and fell glittering into the sun. They remained some days in Lothlorien, so far as they could tell or remember. All the while that they dwelt there, the sun shone clear, save for a gentle rain that fell at all times, and passed away, leaving all things fresh and clean. The air was cool and soft, as if it were early spring, yet they felt about them the deep and thoughtful quiet of winter. It seemed to them that they did little but eat and drink and rest, and walk among the trees, and it was enough. They had not seen the Lord and Lady again, and they had little speech with the elven folk, for few of these knew or would use the western tongue. Haldir had bidden them farewell, and had gone back again to the fences of the north, where a great watch was now kept since the tidings of Moria that the company had brought. Legolas was away much among the Galadrim. Legolas was away much among the Galadrim, and after the first night he did not sleep with the other companions, though he returned to eat and talk with them. Often he took Gimli with him when he went abroad in the land, and the others wondered at this change.
Yeah, see, they're bros. The bromance between Gimli and Legolas begins. The bromance begins. Finally, the rivalry, where they count kills or whatever. Does that happen in the books? I guess we're going to find out. So far it has not, but it didn't happen at this part anyways in the movies. Whatever, okay.
Now, as the companions sat or walked together, they spoke of Gandalf, and all that each had known and seen of him came clear before their minds. As they were healed of hurt and weariness of body, the grief of their loss grew more keen. Often they heard nearby elvish voices singing, and knew that they were making songs of lamentation for his fall, for they caught his name among the sweet, sad words that they could not understand. Mithrandir, sang the elves. O pilgrim grey, O pilgrim grey. This is not a song, just a couple of words. For so they loved to call him. But if Legolas was with the company, he would not interpret the songs for them, saying that he had not the skill, and that for him the grief was still too near, a matter of tears, and not yet for song. Fuck. There is a song coming up. There is a song coming up. Hey, you joined at the wrong time, that guy, because now I have to sing a song soon. Just leave before the end of the next paragraph. I'm just kidding. No, don't leave. I'm happy you're here. Thank you for joining. That guy. Great to have you here. Oh, okay. Sing. No. They need to get out of these elvish places. There's so much singing. There's so much. I'm not there yet. I still have a whole paragraph. I still have a whole paragraph. I didn't want to say it because I was like, oh God, maybe I can just skip over it and nobody will notice. Okay. All right. I can't focus here. Okay. Okay. Everyone sings, even the dwarves, the hobbits, the dwarves, the elves. Heck, I think we heard. Did we hear Aragorn sing yet? Probably. I think we did actually. I think we actually did. God damn. It was Frodo who first put something of his sorrow into halting words. He was seldom moved to make song or rhyme. Even in Rivendell, he had listened, and he had not sung himself, though his memory was stored with many things that others had made before him. But now, as he sat beside the fountain, as he sat beside the fountain in Lorien and heard about him the voices of the elves, his thought took shape in a song that seemed fair to him. Yet, when he tried to repeat it to Sam, only snatches remained, faded as a handful of withered leaves. What? What? Okay, so he doesn't even remember the whole song, and he can't sing the whole thing. Then why, Tolkien, did you include the full song? Okay? Why did you include the full song if he doesn't even remember it properly? What the fuck? Okay. All right. We gotta sing as Frodo. Still have like the slightest runny nose from last week. It won't, my sinuses won't clear the fuck up. Okay. All right. Yes, we have Frodo. Well, of course, I'm Frodo. Gandalf. Yes, this is what Frodo sounds like. Yes. Of course, yes. When the evening in the Shire was grey, his footsteps on the hill were heard. Before the dawn he went away, on a journey long without a word. See, it sounds the same. I every time I try to sing, it sounds the same. Can I try a different note? I don't have singing abilities, okay? Okay. From Wilderland to Western Shore. That's not what he sounds like. Yes, I'm Frodo. From Wilderland to Western Shore, from northern waste to southern hill, from northern waste to southern hill. No, I can't. From northern waste to southern hill, through dragon lair and hidden door, and darkling woods he walked at will.
I hate it. I hate it every time, dude. I'm just glad I stopped editing these videos so I don't have to listen to this. Okay. With dwarf and hobbit and elves and men, with mortal and immortal folk, with bird on bow and beast in den, in their own secret tongues he spoke. A deadly sword, a healing hand, a back that bent beneath its load, a trumpet voice, a burning brand, a weary pilgrim on the road. A lord of wisdom throned he sat, swift in anger, quick to laugh, an old man in a battered hat, who leaned upon a thorny staff. He stood upon the bridge alone. Ah, that was bad. That one was bad. I don't like that one. He stood upon the bridge alone, and fire and shadow both defied. His staff was broken on the stone. In Khazad-dûm, his wisdom died. Ah, Gandalf. Gandalf. Ah. Why, you'll be beating Mr. Bilbo next, said Sam. No, I'm afraid not, said Frodo, but that is the best I can do yet. Well, Mr. Frodo, if you do have another go, I hope you'll say a word about his fireworks, said Sam. Something like this. No, Sam! Why? Sam just had to chime in. He just had to chime in and be like, I'll add to your song. It's all right. It's not very much. Sam is not singing very much. We go something like this. The finest rockets ever seen, they burst in stars of blue and green, or after thunder golden showers came falling like a rain of flowers. Falling like a rain of flowers. Fucking Sam. Sam loves to sing. He loves to sing. Okay. God, I hope they don't do it to me again. Though that doesn't... Wait, we got something like this. Though that doesn't do them justice by a long... Though that doesn't do them justice by a long road. No, I'll leave that to you, Sam. Or perhaps to Bilbo. But, well, I can't talk of it any more. I can't bear to think of bringing the news to him. It's okay, Frodo. Gandalf isn't dead. He's actually evolving. He's a Maya, right? Was the term a Maya? A Maya? He's evolving. He's gonna be a super wizard. He's gonna be the best color of wizard, which I'm not gonna say out loud because it might make me sound racist or white supremacist. He loves a tune. You know that Tolkien loves a tune. He surely does. He's a singer at heart, truly. One evening, Frodo and Sam were walking together. Oh God, here we go. Okay. Okay. Sorry. One evening, Frodo and Sam were walking together in the cool twilight. Both of them felt restless again. On Frodo suddenly the shadow of parting had fallen. He knew somehow that the time was very near when he must leave Lothlorien. What do you think? The good news is that I've done these voices for a while, so doing Frodo and Sam is easy for me. These ones are easy. I figured them out early on. We're good. What do you think of the elves now, Sam? He said. I asked you the same question once before. It seems a very long while ago, but you have seen more of them since then. I have indeed, said Sam, but I reckon there's elves and there's elves. They're all elvish enough, but they're not all the same. Now these folk aren't wanderers or homeless, and seem a bit nearer to the likes of us. They seem to belong here, more even than the hobbits do in the Shire. Whether they've made okay, Sam is kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Whether they've made the land, we got marbles in his mouth, Mr. Frodo. Whether they've made the land or the land's made them, it's hard to say. But if you take my meaning. It's wonderfully quiet here. Nothing seems to be going on
and nobody seems to want it to. If there's any magic about, it's right down deep, where I can't lay my hands on it in a manner of speaking. You can see it. You can see and feel it everywhere, said Frodo. Well, said Sam, you can't see nobody working it, no fireworks, like poor old Gandalf used to show. I wonder why we don't see nothing of the Lord and Lady in all these days. I fancy now that she could do some wonderful things, if she had a mind. I'd dearly love to see some elf magic, Mr. Frodo. Much analysis, Sam. You can see it. Oh, I wouldn't, said Frodo. I'm content, and I don't miss Gandalf's fireworks, but his bushy brows, and his quick temper, and his voice.
I miss Gandalf's voice too. Okay. Definitely like doing like deep voices. It's fun, okay? It's fun for me. All right, doing the Gandalf voice is a good time for me. Some some elf I mean magic. Some elf what? Some elf what? Some elf. Okay. I don't know where am I here? Fuck, Sam said. Oh yeah, I miss Gandalf's fireworks, but his bushy brows, and his quick temper, and his voice. You're right, said Sam, and I don't think I'm finding fault. I've often wanted to see a bit of magic, like what it tells of in old tales, but I've never heard of a better land than this. It's like being at a home and on a holiday at the same time, if you understand me. I don't want to leave. All the same, I'm beginning to feel like we've got to go on. Then we best get it over. It's the job that's never started as takes us longest to finish, as my old gaffer used to say. And I don't reckon that these folk can do much more to help us, magic or no. It's when we leave this land that we shall leave Miss Gandalf worse. Oh, Miss Gandalf. Bushy brows. Any Naruto fans? We had some elf. Some Rock Lee. Some Rock Lee. Anybody? No Naruto. Is Colby in there? Is Colby in there? Sam has a long way of saying everything at once and nothing at all. Yes, that sounds like something Gandalf would say. Sam has a long way of saying everything at once and yet nothing at all. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm afraid that's only too true, Sam, said Frodo. Yet I hope very much that before we leave we shall see the Lady of Elves again. Even as he spoke, they saw, as if she came in answer to their words, the Lady Galadriel approaching. Tall and white and fair, she walked beneath the trees. She spoke no words, but beckoned to them. Boop. Boop. Okay, where are we at? Okay. Turning aside, she led them towards the southern. Whoop. God, sometimes I just can't focus, Oh, geez. How long is this chapter? Wait, we're like an hour in already. I'm just having one of those days. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, folks? I did make a lot of content actually recently because I made a video yesterday, right? And then I made a video last week or like Wednesday, Thursday, right, with the space with magic. And then I worked on the weekend. So I've been like busy. I've actually been busy. Limp Bizkit knows. And what's great is that I only got paid for one of those days. Because only one of those days was I DJing an event. And it was on my birthday. Okay, where are we at?
Turning aside, she led them towards the southern slopes of the hill of Caris Galadhorn. Sorry, not Galadhorn. I keep adding in an R. She led them towards the southern slopes of the hill of Caris Galadhon, and passing through a high green hedge, they came into an enclosed garden. No trees grew there, and it lay open to the sky. The evening star had risen and was shining with white fire above the western woods. Down a long flight of steps, the lady went into the deep green hollow, through which ran murmuring the silver stream that issued from the fountain on the hill. At the bottom, upon a low pedestal carved like a branching tree, stood a basin of silver, wide and shallow, and beside it stood a silver ewer. Yes! 917 subs, yeah. Yes, isn't it miraculous that people subscribe to me? I might even hit 1,000 subscribers, maybe, if I'm lucky. If I'm lucky, who knows? Would be a real treat. Yeah. I got in 2 weeks. I got like 700 subscribers. 2 weeks. It's crazy. It's nuts. Let's see if I can keep it up. Because I made a video today that I thought was really good, but it's not doing as well, and I think it's just because the title is just not, when you come up with a video, you just got to get people to click on it, and that is a difficult thing to do, unfortunately, getting people to click on videos, right? Especially when you have low views, right? Woo. Knock on wood. Yeah, no, I knock on wood. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to keep doing it. Whatever. You can't, lightning doesn't strike the same spot twice. I got to find another spot. Okay. Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I figured that's what I wanted to share more of the story. So, and why I'm Will of the Voice and not a voice actor. Because, I could be one, maybe, probably, but I don't know. I just haven't really tried. It's just, I don't have, you watch the video. I don't have to describe it again. It does. It's true. But, how much, I I can only share so much of my story, okay? I don't want to be like those YouTubers that are like, here's how you succeed at YouTube. And their whole YouTube channel is just trying to get people to click and give them some generic YouTube advice and be like, this is my story. So yeah, I know. I want to keep. I'm going to keep up the consistency. I think I do. I can keep doing this format, but the idea is coming up with the content. You like the Skyrim reference? Yeah. Will of the Voice. That's what it is. It's a Skyrim reference. Isn't it miraculous? Isn't it cool? I'm a Skyrim guy. Yeah, they do good. Yeah, it's true. But I don't. I want to make actual content. I don't want to. It just feels weird to me to watch. I'm looking for advice on YouTube, and I click on one of those channels or one of those videos, and it's like, oh, all of his videos is YouTube advice, and I'm like, it just feels like too many layers of meta. Yes, you have succeeded. So you have advice for sure, but it's the only channels giving advice are the ones that have built their whole channel around giving advice. So it's okay, sorry. Sorry, I got tangent there. Story was great, hella peaceful and interesting. Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, I really, the Magic in Space video is one I was particularly excited about. I knew it wasn't going to do that well because it's kind of very niche, so I wasn't sure anybody would actually watch much of it, but I wrote 8 pages of world building this thing in my head, and yeah, whatever. Some good editing, thank you. The Elder Scrolls remaster, the Oblivion, it is good. It's just bad performance. It's just got bad performance, and they're not gonna fix it, which is unfortunate. Elder Scrolls,
I'm a big Elder Scrolls. Like I like all the Bethesda games, and they are all very. Bethesda's not on the good side of many gamers at the moment, and it's sad. I was honestly a little disappointed in Starfield, though I still play it sometimes. So I guess I did like it, you know. Whatever. Okay, we're here to read. We're here to read, folks. Let's see. Where am I at? Okay. With water from the stream, Galadriel filled the basin to the brim and breathed on it. And when the water was still again, she spoke. Here is the Mirror of Galadriel, she said. I have brought you here so that you may look in it, if you will. The air was very still, and the dell was dark, and the elf lady beside him was tall and pale. What shall we look for, and what shall we see? Asked Frodo, filled with awe. The problem is that Frodo's going to sound, all my ladies are going to sound like Frodo. You're here to trick me into singing. If you want singing, you're shit out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna make music. Not yet. Maybe that's how I get my lucky break. I make a song. Okay. Many things I can command the mirror to reveal, she answered, and some I can show what they desire to see. But the mirror will also show things unbidden, and those are often stranger and more profitable than things which we wish to behold. For you will see, if you leave the mirror free to work, I cannot tell, for it shows things that were, and things that are, and things that yet may be. But which is it that he sees? Even the wisest cannot always tell. Do you wish to look? Frodo did not answer. And you, she said, turning to Sam, for this is what your folk would call magic, I believe, though I do not understand clearly what they mean. They seem to use the same word of the they seem to use the same word of the deceits of the enemy. But this, if you will, is the magic of Galadriel. Did you not say that you wish to see elf magic? Tolkien's going to make you sing, son of a biscuit. It is truly funny to realize how much song that man wrote into his works. He liked the singing. He did. He liked the singing. He really did. He's a big fan. He's a songmeister. He's a bard. He's a bard. Tolkien's a bard. 100%. Okay. Let's see. I did, said Sam, trembling a little between fear and curiosity. I'll have a peep, lady, if you're willin'. And I'd not mind a glimpse of what's been going on at home, he said, in an aside to Frodo. It seems a terrible long time that I've been away, but there, like as not, I'll only see the stars or something that I won't understand. Like as not, said the lady with a gentle laugh. But come, you shall look and see what you may. Do not touch the water. That's because true depth of a population history is held in song. Depending on the population. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, that makes sense. But I feel like not like humans, we love music, right? I'm a DJ. There is so much music, it is impossible to know it all. I've DJ'd, right, for 8 years. I've DJ'd 1,000 weddings, and I still learn new music all the time, you know? There's just an unending amount of music. And yet, most people don't sing. Most human beings don't sing, okay? Most of them don't. I mean, I guess if you're in a church, they all sing, you know? Like, everyone can sing. Everyone sings along. I'll say that. They do sing along. They'll sing along. Most people will sing along to a song. This is true. This is true.
But like every character in this book sings. Every single one of them. My favorite genre of music or of book of fiction, fantasy. My favorite genre of music. Yeah, that's true. Some of the longest songs are sing in large groups. That is true. Yeah, that is true. My favorite genre of music. That's a tough one. Like I like folky, like Head and Heart. But I also mostly I've been listening to lo-fi. Lo-fi is my main thing. Actually, probably if we're being real, that's what I spend. That's what I listen to. Because like I DJ so many weddings and I hear so many different musics and I have weird biases about all music. But like lo-fi feels like something I can just enjoy for me. And it's just like something I could always enjoy and have no weird feelings about it. I'm a weird human being, okay? I got feelings, all right? Um that's my problem. I need to write a song for Spell Space. Yeah, the lo-fi is good. It's nondescript, you know? It's nothing specific, but it's a nice chill beat to relax to, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I love Head in the Heart. Favorite band, The Decemberists. You know, I don't know if you know what they are, but my sister does. Annie does. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And pretty much all music has, like, I've seen so many different genres at so many different weddings, so, and with different people, and it's all got something going for it. Like, pretty much all music is like, yeah. The Decemberists? You do? That guy knows the Decemberists. Oh, shit. We love the Decemberists here. The Decemberists are my shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Mariner's Revenge song? That's the jam. Speaking of singing, I don't know. I haven't sung it in a while, so I don't actually know. But I had all the words to that song memorized, though I don't know if I would remember them. And I'm not going to sing it for you. I shouldn't have even brought that up. Yeah. Decemberists are great. Okay, here we go. Where are we at? Dude, Mariner's Revenge song is legendary. Legendary. Love it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one's good, dude. No. Okay, we're just going to not look at chat. Or we're going to ignore that my sister chanted for me to sing because it's still your favorite. Yeah. I don't know if my favorite December song is. It is that. It's probably that one. It's probably Mariner's Revenge song, if we're being real. I have a lot. They're all fucking great, dude. Yeah. You're welcome. You're in the right place. You're in the right place, that guy. Annie, do I gotta mute you in chat? Okay, you can't. You gotta stop. Okay, all right. You can't be doing this to me. Okay. Let's keep reading before we get too tangented again. Sam climbed up on the foot of the dark pedestal and leaned over the basin. The water looked hard and dark. Stars were reflected in it. "There's only stars, as I thought," he said, and then he gave a low gasp. The stars went out, as if a dark veil had been withdrawn, and the mirror grew gray, and then clear. There was sun shining, and the branches of trees were waving and tossing in the wind. But before Sam could make up his mind what it was that he saw, the light faded, and now he thought he saw Frodo, with a pale face, lying fast asleep under a dark cliff. Then he seemed to see himself going along a dim passage and climbing an endless winding stair. It came to him suddenly that he was looking urgently for something, but what it was he did not know. Like a dream, the vision shifted and went back, and he saw the trees again. But this time they were not so close, and he could see what was going on. They were not waving in the wind. They were falling, crashing to the ground. Why? Cried Sam in an outraged voice. There's Ted Sandyman, a-cutting down the trees he shouldn't be. Nope. There's Ted Sandyman, a-cutting down the trees he shouldn't. They didn't ought to be felled. It's that avenue beyond the mill that shades the road. It's that avenue beyond the mill that shades the road to Bywater. I wish I could guard Ted, and I'd fell him. Uh-oh. He's felling the trees. I love a good ballad and a good shanty. Yeah. Yes, dude. That's some world... Well, it's not world building because it's not about history of humans, but it is kind of world building, actually. It's pretty good. That's a good-ass song. We love Mariner's Revenge song. Okay. Where are we at? Ted Sandyman. Oh, I'd fell him. But now Sam noticed that the old mill had vanished, and a large red brick building was being put up where it had stood. Lots of folk were busily at work. There was a tall red chimney nearby. Black smoke seemed to cloud the surface of the mirror. There's some devilry work at the Shire, he said. Elrond knew what he was about when he wanted to send Mr. Merry back. Then suddenly Sam gave a cry and sprang away. I can't stay here, he said. Suddenly Sam gave a cry. Oh, I read that sentence. He said wildly, I must go home. They've dug up Bagshot Row, and there's poor old Gaffer going down the hill with his bits of things on a barrow. I must go home. You cannot go home alone. You cannot go home alone, said the lady. You do not wish to go home without your master before you looked in the mirror, and yet you knew that evil things might well be happening in the Shire. Remember that the mirror shows many things, and not all have yet come to pass. Some never come to be, unless those that behold the visions turn aside from their path to prevent them. The mirror is dangerous as a guide of deeds. Sam sat on the ground and put his head in his hands. I wish I had never come here. I don't want to see no more magic, he said, and fell silent. After a moment, he spoke again, thickly, as if struggling with tears. No, I'll go home by the long road with Mr. Frodo, or not at all, he said. But I hope to get back some day. If what I see turns out true, somebody's going to catch it hot. Do you now wish to look, Frodo? Said Lady Galadriel. You did not wish to see the elf magic, and were content. Do you advise me to look? Said Frodo. Asked Frodo. No, she said. I do not counsel you one way or another. Oh, I do not counsel you one way or the other. I am not a counselor. You may learn something, and whether what you see be fair or evil, that may be profitable, and yet it may not. Seeing is both good and perilous, yet I think, Frodo, that you have courage and wisdom enough for the venture, or I would not have brought you here. Do as you will. I want to see elf magic. I don't want to see any more elf magic. Yeah, frickin' Sam, dude. Class act. I will... Yes, I'm Frodo. Gandalf, I will look, said Frodo. And he climbed onto the pedestal and bent over the dark water. At once the mirror cleared, and he saw a twilight. What is that word? And he saw a twilight land. Mountains loomed dark in the distance against a pale sky. A long gray road wound back out of sight. Far away, a figure came slowly down the road, faint and small at first, but growing larger and clearer as it approached. Suddenly, Frodo realized that it reminded him of Gandalf. He almost called aloud the wizard's name, but then he saw that the figure was clothed not in gray, but in white.
Oh, there it is.
In a white that shone faintly in the dusk, and in its hand there was a white staff. The head was so bowed that he could see no face, and presently the figure turned aside round a bend in the road and went out of the mirror's view. Doubt came into Frodo's mind. This was a vision of Gandalf on one of his many lonely journeys long ago. Or was it Saruman?
Whoa, chat. Less elven magic, more elven songs. Yeah, bro. Yeah, more singing for Will. Whoa, Colby writes. Hey, that's a good name for a channel. That's a good one. I feel like I already knew you were gonna do that, but it's a good one. It's a good one. Twilight, Edward and Bella's book. Yeah, the goat. The goat is back. The goat is back, brother. Yeah, we got an active chat. You know, if any of y'all have gone back and looked at the past of the Lord of the Rings live stream, you see the chat is fairly inactive, mostly filled with my sister and Colby. We got people here. It's so exciting. Ah! Okay. Okay, sorry. Back to the goat. Oh wait, no, the vision's over. No more goat. The vision now changed, brief and small, but very vivid. He caught a glimpse of Bilbo walking restlessly about his room. The table was littered with disordered papers. Rain was beating on the windows. Then there was a pause, and after it, many swift scenes. Whoop. And after it, many swift scenes followed that Frodo, in some way, knew to be the parts of a great history in which he had become involved. The mist cleared, and he saw a sight which he had never seen before, but knew at once. The sea. Darkness fell. The sea rose and raged in a great storm. Then he saw against the sun, sinking blood red into a rack of clouds, the black outline of a tall ship with torn sails riding up out of the west, then a wide river flowing through a populous city, then a white fortress with 7 towers, and then again a ship with black sails. But now it was morning again, and the water rippled with light, and a banner bearing the emblem of a white tree shone in the sun. A smoke as of fire and battle arose, and again the sun went down in a burning red that faded into a gray mist, and into the mist a small ship passed away, twinkling with lights. It vanished, and Frodo sighed and prepared to draw away. Pirates! Pirates? Pirates? We need Tolkien pirates. That's what we need. Tolkien pirates. What about the unfinished tales of Tolkien or whatever? What about the unfinished tales of Tolkien? Do they have pirates? Are there pirates in those ones? We need the pirates. I like pirates. That's one thing about spell space. Okay, if this continues, the spell space continues, there will be pirates. Okay, there's gonna be space pirates. Okay? Guaranteed, because I like pirates. Okay. But suddenly the mirror went altogether dark, as dark as if a hole had opened in the world of sight. And Frodo looked into emptiness. In the black abyss there appeared a single eye that slowly grew until it filled nearly all the mirror. So terrible was it that Frodo stood rooted, unable to cry out or to withdraw his gaze. The eye was rimmed with fire, but was itself glazed, yellow as a cat's, watchful and intent, and the black slit of its pupil opened on a pit,
a window into nothing. Pirates? Jack Sparrow is an elf. Yeah, he's like an elf that went crazy, that's on drugs, that is drunk all the time. No, elves drink probably a lot. Probably. Some of them probably do. He's an elf. He is an elf, but like he doesn't act like one. You know what I mean? So it's like he's an elf, but like something happened. He went through some shit. You know what I mean? Like he's an elf, but is he? You know, is he anymore? You know? I think it touches on that raider group from. Oh, okay. Okay. I feel like I know what you're talking about. Okay. Not pirates, but land pirates, basically, right? So basically the same thing. But he's talking about the ship on the water, which is something else. Yeah, it's when the elves sailed to the new land, probably, yeah. And they hit a magical storm and turned to pirates. Oh, that's Jack Sparrow. Yeah. The elves sailed to the new land. They hit a magical storm and turned into pirates. And they all get cursed with the black pearl, or the curse of the I can't remember what the curse is. Bard elf or elf thief? He's an elf in the rebellious phase. Yeah. He's a teenager elf. A teenager elf. Okay. We got to think about this. We do actually have to think about this vision, the raiders. But yeah, I think the elves. I think the only time a ship ever shows up, I think, is when they like leave at the very end, right? I think. But maybe in the books it's different. Then the eye began to rove. Oh, okay, here we go. This is okay. So I just glassed through that whole fucking paragraph, and I didn't realize it was talking about Sauron. Suddenly the mirror went all together, dark as if a hole had opened up in the world of sight. Emptiness, terrible, a single eye, so terrible that Frodo stood. Yep. Okay, yeah. The eye was rimmed with fire. The elves and cats watchful and intent. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yes, I missed that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Okay. Then the eye began to rove, searching this way and that. And Frodo knew with certainty and horror that among many things that it sought, he himself was one. That among the many things that it sought, he himself was one. But he also knew that it could not see him, not yet, unless he willed it. The ring that hung upon its chain about his neck grew heavier than a great stone, and his head was dragged downwards. The mirror seemed to be growing hot, and curls of steam were rising from the water. He was slipping forward. "Do not touch the water," said the Lady Galadriel softly. The vision faded, and Frodo found that he was looking at the cool stars twinkling in the silver basin. He stepped back, shaking all over, and looked at the lady. I know what it was that you last saw," she said. "For that is also in my mind. Do not be afraid. But do not think that only by singing amid the trees, nor even by the slender arrows of elven bows, is this land of Lothlorien maintained and defended against its enemy. I say to you, Frodo, that even as I speak to you, I perceive the Dark Lord and know his mind, or all of his mind that concerns the elves. And he gropes ever to see me and my thoughts, but the door is still closed." She lifted up her white arms and spread out her hands towards the east in a gesture of rejection and denial. Arendil, the evening star, the most beloved of the elves, shone clear above. So bright was it that the figure of the elven lady cast a dim shadow on the ground. Its rays glanced upon a ring about her finger. It glittered like polished gold, overlaid with silver light, and a white stone in it twinkled as if the elven star had come down to rest upon her hand. Frodo gazed at the ring with awe, for suddenly it seemed to him that he understood. Ghost pirates, yeah. Frodo is smuggled Frodo is smuggled somehow. I don't know. Sorry, I'm now behind the chat. I don't know what the heck's going on. The leaf canoes, bling bling. Oh yeah, yes. Okay, yes, those boats exist. Yes. Yes, she said, divining his thought. It is not permitted to speak of it, and Elrond could not do so. But it cannot be hidden from the ring-bearer, the one who has seen the eye. Verily, it is in this land of Lorien, upon the finger of Galadriel, that one of the three remains. This is Nenya, the ring of adamant, and I am its keeper. He suspects, but he does not know, not yet. Do you not see now wherefore your coming is to us as the footstep of doom? For if you fail, then we are laid bare to the enemy. Yet if you succeed, then our power is diminished, and Lothlorien will fade, and the tides of time will sweep it away. We must depart into the west, or dwindle to a rustic folk of dell and cave, slowly to forget and to be forgotten.
Oh, the elves are going to lose their power. Yeah, I heard tale of this, that they have to destroy the Dark Lord, or the ring, and if they do, then they lose their power or something. It's sad. You got a dip? Okay, farewell. Farewell. Catch you next Monday. In the next Lord of the Rings stream. Okay.
Frodo bent his head. And what do you wish? He said at last. That which should be, shall be, she answered. The love of the elves for their land and their works is deeper than the deeps of the sea, and their regret is undying and cannot ever wholly be assuaged. Yet they will cast all away rather than submit to Sauron, for they know him now. For the fate of Lothlorien you are not answerable, but only for the doing of your own task. Yet I could wish, were it of any avail, that the one ring had never been wrought, or had remained forever lost. You are wise and fearless and fair, Lady Galadriel, said Frodo. I will give you the one ring, if you ask for it. It is too great a matter for me. Galadriel laughed, with a sudden clear laugh. Wise the Lady Galadriel may be, she said, yet here she has met her match in courtesy. Gently, you are revenged for my testing of your heart at our first meeting. You begin to see with a keen eye. I do not deny that my heart has greatly desired to ask what you offer. For many long years I had pondered what I might do, should the great ring come into my hands, and behold, it was brought within my grasp. The evil that was devised long ago works on in many ways, whether Sauron himself stands or falls. Would not that have been a noble deed to set to the credit of his ring, if I had taken it by force or fear for my guest? And now at last it comes. You will give me the ring freely. In a place of the Dark Lord you will set up a queen, and I shall not be dark, but beautiful and terrible as the morning and the night, fair as the sea and the sun, and the snow upon the mountain, dreadful as the storm and the lightning, stronger than the foundations of the earth. All shall love me and despair. She lifted up her hand, and from the ring that she wore there issued a great light that illuminated her alone and left all else dark. She stood before Frodo, seeming now tall beyond measurement, and beautiful beyond enduring, and terrible and worshipful. Then she let her hand fall, and the light faded, and suddenly she laughed again. And lo, she was shrunken, a slender elf woman, clad in simple white, whose gentle voice was soft and sad. "I passed the test," she said. "I will diminish, and go into the west, and remain Galadriel."
Wow. So she would have been terrible. Ah! And Frodo would have just given it to her too. Damn. Could have been the second Dark Lord, but the Light Lord? Just as whatever. Okay. The light lady? Whatever. Okay.
They stood for a long while in silence. At length the lady spoke again. "Let us return," she said. "In the morning you must depart, for we have chosen, and the tides of fate are flowing." "I would ask one thing before we go," said Frodo, "a thing which I often meant to ask Gandalf in Rivendell. I am permitted to wear the One Ring. Why cannot I see all the others, and know the thoughts of those that wear them?" "You have not tried," she said. "Only thrice have you set the ring upon your finger since you knew what you possessed. Do not try. It would destroy you. Did not Gandalf tell you that the rings give power according to the measure of each possessor? Before you could use that power, you would need to become far stronger and train your will to the domination of others. Yet even so, as ring bearer, and as one that has borne it on the finger and seen that which is hidden, your sight is grown keener. You have perceived my thought more clearly than many are accounted wise. You saw the eye of him that holds the 7 and the 9, and did you not see and recognize the ring upon my finger? Did you see my ring?" she asked, turning again to Sam. "No, lady," he answered. "To tell you the truth, I wondered what you were talking about. I thought I saw a star through your fingers, but if you'll pardon my speaking out, I think my master was right. I wish you'd take his ring. You'd put things to rights. You'd stop them digging up the gaffer and turning him adrift. You would make some folk pay for their dirty work." "I would," she said. "That is how it would begin, but it would not stop with that. Alas, I will not speak more of it. Let us go."
Done. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell into the microphone there. That's the end of the chapter. Chapter 7 completed. It's only 8:30. I suppose I could continue, but I am tired. I grow weary. It's only been an hour and a half, but another chapter could be another hour and a half, and it could be a 3-hour stream. I don't know. Maybe I want to keep it short this time. Last time, we did 2 chapters, and it was 3 hours, and it was a good time. This time, I'm thinking maybe not. I think this time, maybe we keep it nice and chill for this stream, you know? Nice and chill. Yeah, the next chapter could be 3 hours by itself. So that is a possibility. And I have other things to do. I might be getting roped into doing running a D&D campaign, even though I'm not really an experienced GM. And I don't know if I really should be doing it because I'm busy and struggling and also trying to make YouTube videos. But I do want to try my hand at more DMing, so I'm going to do it. So yeah, I'm tired. Okay, I got a lot going on. I'm busy. Yeah, I've been on a minute, hour and a half. Good night, Peachy Keen. Good night, Peachy Keen. Thank you for joining, as well as Annie, and that guy who was gone. We had Relis in there, and Githorn, sorry, what was it again? Genesis? We'll call you Genesis, huh? Have them tip you could help. No, I don't think that's gonna be happening. I don't think it's gonna be happening. I don't think they would pay me, and also I don't think they should because I'm not a very practiced DM.
Maybe in the future. I don't know. DMing's fun. I did it for the first time last year. I recommend using a module. I'm considering it. It's coming up, but I would rather do homebrew. I want to do homebrew. Genesis? Yeah, we'll say Genesis. That's good. I would rather do homebrew, but the time draws near and my time is limited. It is indeed limited. I'm thinking I could try to do like homebrew improvised, but I wouldn't have maps or anything. And they are also all new players who don't give a shit. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to talk to my buddy tonight after this stream. I got to talk to him. So we will see what happens. I don't know. Being a DM could be fun. It could be a useful skill as a content creator potentially. You know, I'm not going to be Brendan Lee Mulligan or Matt Mercer or whatever, but I could do voices and that would be fun to do. It would be a good skill to use with my voices. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I do want to give it a shot and do more of it potentially. That could be a fun stream in the future too, you know. If I get good at GMing enough that I could do a stream like a D&D stream, you know, would be cool. Would be pretty cool. I have not run a handful of campaigns. I've run one campaign, Annie. I've only run one. I've only done one. I've run one. I ran Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It was interesting. I have thousands of hours. So you're an expert DM? That's awesome. It's horrible. Do you want to be a player? Are you the forever GM? Is that it? Is that your role? That's too bad. Homebrew will consume your life. Yeah, I know it's difficult, but I feel like I just love world building and stuff, and it would be difficult and a lot, but I feel like if I got good at it and practiced at it, I would enjoy it thoroughly, to be honest. Like if I could run a campaign in spell space, I feel like it would be a good time. You know, that is half the inspiration of the setting, you know, or not half, probably more like 10 to 20% of the setting. At least two. I have not run two. I've only run one. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty certain I've run one, and that's it. I think I might have ran like a dumb little one shot for a couple of friends that barely counted. I think maybe or something. I don't think. Yeah, I did that. I did that once. So I guess you could say two, but not really. I've ran one campaign. I was actually pivoting my module into a space one. I was using some old modules for inspiration for some of the space stuff. Ooh, nice. That's awesome. What module were you using? Yeah, I want the Spelljammer. I mean, if you've seen my videos, it's definitely similar. Spelljammer is really cool. I like magic and fantasy and space as a concept is really cool, which is why I made that whole ass video. And it's exciting. The video didn't do the best, you know. I guess it did okay, just compared to the other one, obviously. But my brother and my mother were wanting to help, and they write some stuff for it for fun, like little short stories or something. So there might be some stories that they write for my setting, which would be really cool, which would be super cool. Oh, Spelljammer. So it was Spelljammer that you were doing? Heck yeah. Guys, are we going to start a D&D game? We got all kinds of, I guess you guys are both GMs. No. Okay, no. That's a thing. I got enough to worry about. I already got another campaign I'm getting roped into. Okay. So we're gonna let's just end the stream here. All right. 2E stuff. Okay. Pathfinder or no, D&D second edition. Whoa. That's classic. That's old school. That's old school right there. Damn. Okay. All right. We're going to wrap this up. I've only been playing. Oh, you guys watched the fucking video since 2020. I wish I would have started sooner because I know I would love D&D if I started it sooner, but alas. Okay, whatever. Yes. Who's the Forever Gym and who are the players? Yeah, exactly. 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 I want to be a player. I want to be a player. Whatever. Okay, I've been a player plenty. I want to be a player in the space campaign. But I haven't gotten to be in one. I was almost in one. It didn't work out, though. Okay, yeah. I'm getting distracted. We're going to end the stream. Goodbye, folks. Thank you. Archive, D&D stuff is really cool. Okay, cool. I might do that. Yes, okay. No more distractions. Goodbye. Farewell. Peace out. Thanks for participating. And I'll catch y'all later. I'm not going to explain why I'm looking around the corner. Otherwise I'll get distracted and keep talking.